What's up, everyone? Welcome to Level 7. It is time for another episode of the Agents of Fandom podcast for the second last time of 2025. We will still be going live one more time on Wednesday, the 31st, before the new year to talk a little Pluribus, maybe talk a little Fallout. But for now, we are going to be recapping all of the best things that happened in 2025. We'll focus a little bit on some movies, focus a little bit on some TV shows, and who knows whatever else might pop up today as we are drafting our very favorite projects, things, events, occurrences that happened in 2025. Joining me today, the man whose idea was to put this little draft together, and it feels like it's been forever since I've seen him. You've been seeing him if you've been watching the Comic Corner podcast, but not for both of us together. I miss him. I love him. It's Damon. How you doing, buddy?
Oh man, it's been a while because I don't watch anything anymore. I guess I just stopped. I don't know why. In reality, there's just not a lot going on right now that I'm interested in. But comic books, which is always a delight to talk about, a very fantastic medium that does not ever at all cause drama on the online spaces.
We got our guy Sean, who couldn't join us today, in chat saying that he's coming to us live from the treadmill because he couldn't hang out with us because he's too busy getting in shape, too busy working that cardio, getting that heart rate up. And Caroline, who of course has been joining us for our Stranger Things show, saying that she is here to draft the summer I Turned Pretty. Joining us and drafting with us today, we got my guy Jam. How you doing, Jam?
Doing well. I'm doing well. And I should be taking a page from Sean's book because I skipped the gym today to come straight here after work to be here with y'all.
You did the
And
right.
I love it. And I don't regret it at all. I'm happy to be here. Great to be here, brother.
Doing the opposite of New Year's resolutions, I see.
It's not the new year yet. We got a couple more days before we got to get to the gym. But I will say, for those who are joining us live in chat, like Sean, like Caroline, hanging out, let us know your favorite movies of 2025, your favorite TV shows of 2025. And if we are drafting yours, let us know in chat. Pump us up. If we haven't drafted yours, feel free to give us a hard time as well. But I'm looking forward to go through all of this. And so we had to bring someone in, not only this worked out perfectly because I really wanted to do, like, since we're doing a best of 2025, I wanted to draft with people who have co-hosted a podcast with me this year. That was really like crucial to, as I wanted to do this, I wanted to make sure that we were kind of doing a recap with the people who have been hosting throughout the year. And so I was able to bring in not only a co-host of the Severance podcast, but also someone who loves drafts, loves coming in, causing some chaos. We got Rachel Leishman, editor-in-chief of the Mary Sue. How you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to represent the female population, and I'm sure all of my views will reflect women everywhere. Because I don't famously
add that to the social media bio. My views do reflect all women everywhere.
Because I don't famously pick stuff that is like for the boys. Like when I do this shit. But yeah, excited to be here again. I love drafting because I always choose chaos. I think last time I literally picked movies that were like boys.
Well, before we get into the drafting of it all, it has been a while since I've seen you. It's been a while since I've seen Damon. Jam and I have been hanging out for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which you, of course, can catch our next episode this Friday. We got a show every day this week, people. Monday, we dropped our Stranger Things Volume 2 recap. Tuesday, that's today, we are doing our end of the year draft. Wednesday, some Pluribus, some Fallout. Thursday, Damon's back for the Comic Corner. Friday, Jam and Brandon and I will be back for some Percy Jackson and the Olympians, joined by the Seaweed Brain podcast. That should be a ton of fun. And then next week, we will be breaking down the Stranger Things series finale. That's going to be a blast as well. I don't have much to add for what you're watching because we're covering all of the things that I'm watching throughout this week. But Rachel, I want to throw it to you first. What you been watching lately?
So I've been catching up on whatever movies I haven't watched so I could vote for the Critics' Choice on Friday. I have like 7 movies I haven't watched because they're like, it's not the big movies. They're all like movies that are like, we nominated this one thing from this movie. And so I have to watch all of them. So I've been catching up on those. I watched a movie today called The Plague, and I've decided that boys are a plague. That's so true. The movie is correct because it's all about how mean boys are. And I'm like, yeah, girls get the title of being mean to each other, and this movie is mean. And I've also been really into The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I don't know if you've watched that show, but it is crazy. And so I binge watched all of it from Thanksgiving to like yesterday. I finished it yesterday. So that's what I've been watching outside of like, you know, Stranger Things and like actual television that is good. Oh, I'm so stupid. Heated Rivalry. I love the gay hockey.
That's the Canadian gay hockey show.
Well, one's from Russia in the show, but is actually from Dallas. No, just
But it's
Texas.
created in
I don't
Canada.
know where in Texas, but he's from Texas.
Created in Canada. And everybody's hyping up the gay hockey show. And I got to say, to my Americans, we like to refer to that as the Canadian gay hockey show. Give us our respect.
They do.
Jam, how about you? What you
for
been
the
watching?
birds.
Nothing much different from when we were here from Percy Jackson. I actually did finish Task over on HBO Max. Really good, man. Mark Ruffalo got it. He got it. I think that's one. I mean, I got to look more in his portfolio, but I feel like that's one of his best performances. Rachel got me over there, and I could be bugging. Am I bugging?
No, he's good in that show, but the fact that you have to look at Mark Ruffalo's portfolio to figure out, like, I'm like, it's not beating Zodiac.
I mean, but that's like
It's not
classic,
beating
though.
Zodiac.
Oh, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
It's
Uh,
up there though. It is a good show.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Besides Task, I just started on Apple TV, The Last Frontier. It's interesting. I'm really liking it. I think Apple TV has such high quality TV, so for me, I'm just binging that. But TJ, for a little bit of a spin, I have to add this in here. I have been binge reading something that we both genuinely love with all of our hearts, and that is the Avatar: The Last Airbender franchise. I am on the duology second book. What is it? Yang Chen's second book. So I've been trying to read through that. I'm like halfway through. The goal was to finish it for the new year. That's not happening. But getting ready for Avatar Roku's second book that is coming out. Actually, I think it came out today, the 30th. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I've been catching up on this week.
I've been slowly making my way through the Kyoshi books over the last year because they're not available in audiobooks in Canada for whatever some weird rights reason. And so I gotta read words like this is 2009 or something. And so that's that's slowing me down a little bit. The ADHD gets the best of me when there's not pictures on the pages sometimes. Damon, how about you? What you've been watching? What you've been reading?
It has been nice hearing people are really starting to go to the novels over the last few years because it actually is some of the best Avatar: The Last Airbender content. I've mentioned that many times. The Kyoshi books are fantastic, and one of the reasons why she is one of my favorite characters in that franchise. Man, I was also going to just take a jab at Apple in how you said pluribus and how Apple has so many great shows. You can thank Sony for that because Apple doesn't actually produce anything. Yeah, there's my jab at them. All right, you guys want to take a jab at me because I'm playing something for the very first time in my life. It's a video game. It's a very prominent video game, and I'm waiting for you to laugh or scold me for never playing this before. I'm getting a lot of glares.
Was it GoldenEye or something? Like,
No, it is not GoldenEye.
The
is it
Witcher.
your first Mario game? What is
It
it?
is not the first Mario game. It's not The Witcher. I'm not going to play a guessing game this entire time, but it is the Arkham Batman series.
Nice.
So I'm going through that. Why, TJ? Because it's available on Switch too. And
Nice.
I got the entire bundle for $10. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Is it
I
available?
did this 2 years ago.
Because
What
I'll
was
do it on the regular Switch if it's available on the regular Switch. Because I bought
it
the
may
first-
honestly at least the first couple games because that's a 2009 game, maybe, but so far fun. It's exactly what I expected. It's exactly what I expected, and it's a blast. I do enjoy it.
Yeah, they're really great. You can see a lot of like the blueprints in these games that were expanded upon in the Spider-Man games, where
Yup.
very similar in a whole lot of ways, but the Spider-Man games kind of perfected some of the mechanics and things like that from these Arkham games. But I can't judge because I just played them for the first time like 2 years ago when I got my PS5 and they were on PS Plus. That was the first time I ever played them. So nice stuff. I definitely want to know your thoughts on things as you go through.
It's Conrad's doing the Batman voice in that game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. And I've been just starting a new game as well. I finished Red Dead Redemption, the first one, and I have now started diving into Cyberpunk 2077 and having a decent time with it so far. I'm very early on. I am not a first person type player. Like, I really would much prefer a third person view of things than it being in first, and I am struggling with it a little bit, where I almost feel like I'm getting a little motion sickness, how it's like at all times you're just like you're right up in it, you know, everything is super focused, everything's super close together. I like being able to see my person as I'm fighting. And so
it's funny you bring that up too, because that exactly is what the Avatar game just had a huge update for, is you can do that entire game in third person. Now I'm watching clips of it, I'm like, ooh, I kind of trashed this game visually when it came out, because why would I want to be an avatar and then only see in first person? And now you can actually see the character you create.
And it's beautiful.
Oh, it looks so
gorgeous. I'm loving it.
What's this on? I want to play this Avatar game.
Oh, like PlayStation and Xbox, like
I think
all
it's
the
on everything.
consoles.
Excuse me, can you say it by its given name?
Frontiers of Pandora, I think is what it's called, TJ.
I'll check it out for sure. Definitely interested in that.
I'm sure Adam, a former co-host of the podcast, Adam, will be able to talk you into it in a matter of 4 seconds.
I'm in for sure. And the other one, speaking of Adam, I did a poll and I asked him, like, which game should I play? Should I play Cyberpunk or this other one? And I'm disappointing Adam because he picked the other one, and that was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game before. This would have been my first one.
What?
So I am not sure if I'm going to finish Cyberpunk or just go, I'm going to take a break from this first-person thing and go to Assassin's Creed. But
there's so many.
That's going to be the next one on my list, is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because I've never played an Assassin's Creed game.
That's a great franchise. There's some duds in there for sure, but that has some really good ones in there.
It's time to start getting into the draft, our favorite projects of 2025. How we are going to do this is there will be 6 rounds with 4 people. And so a total of 24 picks. We will each be doing 2 movies, 2 TV shows, and 2 wild cards. We can draft these in any order we want. It doesn't have to necessarily be get your movies out first, then your TV shows, then do your wild cards. If you think something's going to be a hot button item, you might want to get it out of the way early. But we are going to do a snake order draft. I got a draft order randomizer up on the screen. I'll screen share. We'll do it live so everybody can see it. And we will go through, start drafting our favorite projects. As long as it came out in 2025, it is eligible. Wild cards, and this was Damon's idea to not just have it be, you know, an extra TV show, an extra movie. It could be, in theory, but that might be kind of boring. It can be literally everything. So on the surface, you think, what could that be? Video games, books, comic books, podcasts, music, or
moment of the year, scandal of the year. You can do whatever the heck you want. I don't care.
Your favorite meme, your favorite meal at a restaurant that you had. Anything you want in the wild card category.
Just let me have free reign. Scary. Because mine are stupid shit. And I will say my honorable mentions because they're also good.
Giving Rachel just like no guidelines, no boundaries is a dangerous proposition. But we're gonna do it. And especially in a live show. But we're gonna do it. And we're gonna have some fun. And let us know your favorite moments, your favorite movies, your favorite TV shows. Let us know in the YouTube chat. Let us know on socials at Agents Fandom on TikTok and Twitter, Agents of Fandom everywhere else. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button for us. Help us keep the lights on, battle that YouTube algorithm, grow this community. And you can also find us wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a nice 5-star rating and review if you don't mind. Without further ado, let's start the draft process, and we will bring up the draft order randomizer. I got 4 names in there: Damon, TJ, Rachel, and Jam. Let's do this. Draft order results: TJ 1, Rachel 2, Damon 3, Jam gets the snake reverse, 2 picks in a row to end out the round. I'm actually really happy about this because I was thinking things through as something just fell from my desk. I don't know what that was. Hopefully it wasn't important. I had one thing that I really wanted in terms of this was my number 1 in a category. In other categories, I felt like I had a lot of potential options that I'm equally fine with. And so, with the first pick in the draft, I'm going to take a movie, and I'm going with Sinners as my number 1 pick, my favorite movie of 2025. Taking it off the board, I am going with Sinners as my movie. Rachel, actually, before we just go to her pick, thoughts on the draft pick?
Well, fuck
Not
you, because I was trying to hurry up and take it. And I said, oh, I have this lovely spot of second. Surely I can take it and it'll be great. No, because TJ had to roll up and take Sinners first. So
Jam, you look pissed as well. Damon, you were nodding with like, yep, that was right. You weren't hurt by it, but Jam, you had a look on your face of like betrayal.
That was my pick, man. That was my pick.
Rachel, throw it to you next. Second pick in the draft. What do you have?
I fucking guess. You know what? I'll do a movie too, and I will do the film that I love very dearly. I will do Hamnet, because that is also in my top 4 of the year, which is where I'm pulling from for my movies. So yeah, I will choose Hamnet as one of my films.
Haven't gotten to see Hamnet yet, so I can't
Why, you
judge
hate
it either
women?
way.
Do you hate women?
Is it in? I didn't even know if it was in my local theater yet. I'd love to see it.
Came out at Thanksgiving in America, TJ. That's almost.
I'm not
It
in America. I'm too busy living in a free country.
was a month ago.
Damon,
I have no
pick 3.
excuses, to be fair.
I am too busy spending time with the lovely women in my own home, Rachel.
Sure.
I didn't have time to get there.
Ones that you said people upstairs before we started.
There's friends over. I was trying to be inclusive of the whole group. I wasn't
Yeah.
referring to my wife and daughter as the people upstairs. There's a large group of wonderful people upstairs over at my house. I was trying to be gender inclusive by saying people. Damon, pick 3. Who do you got?
Look, I am so glad this one failed me. This wasn't my favorite TV show of 2025, but this is quite literally, in my opinion, the most timely TV show. You brought it up, Free Country. Oh, that's true. Because Andor, in my opinion, is the best show of 2025. The timing of it, the message that it had, everything about it. I needed to get this one off the board.
Great pick. I think that was going to be my first choice of the television categories if it got to me. And so very, very solid choice there. No qualms here. Rachel, what are your thoughts on Andor going pick 3?
He's correct.
There you go.
He's correct. So
Jam, you got back-to-back picks. Who are you going to close out the first round?
That's crazy that you all think that Andor was the best television show of 2025, because I'm going to battle that and also pick a TV show. And I am going to throw what I believe is the best television show of 2025 out there, and that is Paradise.
Solid pick, Paradise. Not one that we covered here on the podcast, but one that we talked about quite heavily when we were going through our What You Watching. And I believe it was, I can't remember if Sean or Adam reviewed that one for the website, or it could have been Ryan. No, it was Ryan. Ryan reviewed that for the website, and he convinced everyone to watch. And it just kind of became like, oh shit, Ryan, I watched that show you told us to watch. It's incredible. And I just, every day it was I saw on my Twitter feed, somebody else thanking Ryan for getting them to watch that show. And truly a really, really good season of television. Looking forward to season 2. Who do you got as your next pick? I will say, I think you could have got that later though.
I don't know. I want to say it was a battle between 2 television shows for me, because you took Sinners. So I am gonna throw in something that I also think was debatable when I did my list of 2025, because me and the good folks over at the alternate timeline just did our best of 2025 for my pod. So I am going to say The Studio over on Apple TV.
That is another one that I was looking at for my television choice. Came out of nowhere, and I think everybody just loved it right from the get-go. Absolutely hilarious. Awesome cameos, awesome guest stars, really good writing. Damon, you don't have Apple TV, if I'm not
No.
mistaken.
Wow, just
You are missing out on so much good shit.
missing out on my beautiful, beautiful Titans, my sweet, sweet babes of Monarch. You're missing out on so much.
I have seen several shows on Apple that I very much enjoy. Ted Lasso. I was one of the first people to watch Ted Lasso before it blew up, and seeing how
Damon
big
liked
that
Ted
has
Lasso
gotten.
before it was cool.
I did.
It's given,
I remember Ted Lasso when it was a commercial on NBC Sports. And also Shrinking, but that's also made by the same people. Like those 2 shows. And also I'll shout out the first couple seasons in the morning show. Very solid program.
Yeah, I binged
2
the
of those
entirety
3
the
made by
morning
Warner
show.
Brothers.
I binged the entirety of the morning show a couple months ago, and it took me a while to get into it, but once I was into it, I couldn't get out of it. Damon, second round, who do you got? You have your first television show off the board with Andor season 2. What are you going with next?
This is where I'm struggling. Just because I'm like, do I want to do another TV show? Because I did not watch a lot of TV this year. And then I'm like, the one I would pick, I can really save in the back. So I think, and I'm going to go from one that is very obvious, which was Andor, for a lot of people's opinion on best TV show of the year, to what not many people agree is the best movie of the year, but to me, it was my favorite movie, and that's Thunderbolts. I love the messaging of that film, especially for it being like a Marvel film, an MCU film, a secret Avengers movie that we all kind of knew that it was with the asterisk and everything. Like we all knew. But I thought they did the thing that we all were kind of like, what if they secretly released an Avengers movie? It didn't tell anyone. They did that to me in a way that you can really only do without it completely, totally bombing. And also, again, just go back to the messaging of it. The self-worth, everything. I thought was extraordinarily well done and is tied for my favorite comic book movie of 2025.
Good choice. That was at the top of my Marvel side of things. It was another comic book movie I was kind of considering for top comic book movie as well, but this is kind of where I'm torn for my next picks as well, and I'm kind of hoping Rachel just plucks one of them off the board, because
my turn. I was judging you.
I am unsure of what I want to do next in the movie category. Do I want to go with what I think is my second favorite movie of the year, or do I want to go with a comic book one? And so I'm hoping Rachel, with her pick next, helps me make that decision by taking one of them off the board, but we'll see. What do you got, Rachel?
Nah, I'm going Severance. So I'm not helping you in any way, shape, or form. I'm picking Severance season 2, even though that ending still makes me angry. Sorry to everyone who loves Heliar and Mark. I fucking don't. So I'm still mad about it. So I'm choosing Severance for my television. Now it's your turn, TJ.
Damn it. I would have loved to get Severance here. I was kind of trying to lead you in the movie direction in hopes that I'd be able to.
And look what happened.
One in there. I might go back-to-back television here then, so I can just still have somebody make my movie decision for me later. but I am running out of things on my television list, and that scares me because although Jam is out of TV, he took one with the studio off my list. Damon took Andor, Rachel took Severance. My list is running low despite this being such a great year of television, and so I'm going to take two back to back. And this first one especially I think might potentially be controversial because although it's a phenomenon, everybody's watching it. Season 5. Hey, we actually just brought him up. Ryan in chat just popped in. Shout out Paradise if it doesn't get picked. Ryan, we were just talking about you. Jam took it in the first round. So don't you have to worry. We already got our Paradise in and we gave you a nice shout out for it as well. That was hilarious timing. My first pick here for TV, last pick of the second round. A lot of people are watching this show. It's a phenomenon, but I don't know if it just got too popular and now the criticisms are getting crazy, or if it's dipped in quality, or if it's a bit of both, However, I'm having a great time. My rewatch this year was one of my most enjoyable things that I did. And I'm enjoying season 5 as well. I'm going Stranger Things season 5 as my pick for television show as my first one. Rachel, I thought you were like not liking the pick, and then as soon as I said it, you started clapping. Give me your thoughts on Stranger Things going here in round 2.
I believe your second point is what is actually happening with Stranger Things, because I also did a rewatch, and I think it is significantly dipping in quality because as I'm writing my review for volume 2, a lot of planning. We watched 3 episodes that are over 3 hours long of planning. Some great looks. Steve Harrington in a backwards hat and a sweater, but like a lot of planning. Also, Ryan is correct. Is Ted Wheeler dead?
Like, we don't know.
Many questions that are not important, but I'm like, what about that dude?
Karen, who cares less?
Fine, but what the fuck is he good?
Who cares less? The Wheeler family about Ted's well-being, or Joyce Byers about Jonathan's well-being? Because he is like trapped somewhere in the upside down.
Child at this point. She's like, he's my adult child. Like, my teen still kind of needs me. She still cares enough about her kids. I think the Wheelers not giving a fuck about Ted is genuinely funny. And I'm also writing about, like, this would be one of my wild cards. I'm not doing it though. Why is 11 in a wetsuit? Girl, you couldn't grab a shirt. You couldn't just, yeah, thank you, Damon. You couldn't grab a shirt. You couldn't just like change. You're running around town in a wetsuit and some sweats. Like, there's a lot of questions I have about Stranger Things.
Yo, I didn't even peep that.
Here's another question about, and I'm keeping this as spoiler free as possible, but another
I'm not
question about 11 in the wetsuit. There's never been any water in the Upside Down. Where did she get this water from?
Well, there's snow. What are you yapping about? First of all, there's the Vecnut, which is
there's the ashy stuff coming down. That's not snow. Anytime they've gone somewhere that there's been water in the real world, there's never been water in the Upside Down.
Well, because it's cold there. It has been proven that it is cold in the Upside Down because everyone's like,
so is there running water? Where does the running water come from? Anyways, that's besides the point.
It's frozen.
Jam, have you been on the Stranger Things train for season 5? What have been your thoughts on the new season?
Yeah, I'm going. That's what I was telling you guys off pod. I'm going to my family's to watch the finale for New Year's Eve because it comes out on Netflix. I think 8 p.m. Eastern time. So
why you guys spend holidays with these goddamn kids in Hawkins? Like, I love Steve, but why am I spending Christmas in Hawkins? Because I have to work.
You know what? I definitely spent Thanksgiving, Christmas, and now New Year's Eve with the kids in Hawkins for season 5. I didn't even think about it. I'm not complaining, but she is. She is. She is on this side. Sorry, this side. She is. I've been enjoying it so far. I think the internet has been a little rough, but I think in some ways I expected more. I had a lot higher expectations for something. I thought, I rewatched it all, and I agree with both of you. As the seasons continue on, I'm struggling more and more. And I also think a part of it is waiting for so long in between seasons. It's like now that I don't really care as much, even binge watching from when I did care, so, or binge watching now, but so it's good. I wanted it to be great, and I don't know if I feel like it's great for me personally.
Now,
We'll,
TJ,
of course, be talking more about Stranger Things for the finale next week. You can also find our breakdown of Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2, now up on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. For my second pick, I'm going with not necessarily one of the best shows of 2025. I think it's up there, close, but not in the top tier, but it's one of my favorites. And so since I think my top 3 in terms of quality, Andor, The Studio, Severance Season 2, since all 3 of those are off the board, I'm going to go with one of my favorites here because I still feel like somebody else would have pulled this one. And I'm going Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, as my second movie, my second television choice. Stranger Things and Daredevil, I don't think I would put up in like the Emmy category, the best shows of the year type thing. But
the two
definitely 2 of my favorites.
Stands.
David looks so much like a bearded Matt Murdock with that cowl on. He's really pulling it off. Rachel showing
so
off
comfy,
the Matt
actually.
Murdock
I'm not gonna lie.
tattoo.
That's cool. That tat is cool, and he got the cow.
Yeah,
I'm preaching to the Daredevil
Oh, wait,
choir.
hold on. Don't change. Damon, keep it on. Keep it on. Keep it on.
Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking.
There, Rachel's got her glasses. Daredevil Hive, stand up. Jam, I don't know if I've ever talked to you about Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Did you watch the Netflix shows? What were your thoughts on the season?
Yeah, I did, and I also rewatched them right before Born Again came out. Loved it. It's so interesting how season 3 of the Netflix show is technically the adaptation of the comic Born Again, but then the new series is Born Again. It's so funny, but I loved it. I was theorizing with a group of friends the whole time. What's gonna happen? I told them before Born Again came out, I said they're adding the Jessica Jones and Luke Cage into the series. I have a theory I'd love to throw out there real quick since we got the Daredevil Hive. My theory is when we see Luke Cage, it's going to be as a candidate for mayor of New York.
Yes.
That same thing I was saying on the pod.
I've been saying that since before that, TJ.
I've been telling people this for a very long time. Yeah, I feel like that's a very big consensus. Everybody just feels, especially with the whole Devil's Reign arc in the comics. So that's my big theory, but I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Shout out to both of y'all with the Daredevil Hives merch.
I can just picture the scene, right, of Matt going up to Luke and just being like, I'm building this army. I got to fight Fisk. I need your help. And then Luke eventually coming to the conclusion that, like, what if I don't fight him with my fists? What if I fight him with votes? Because Luke is very popular in New York City. I love that. I love that idea so much.
Jam, can we quickly shout that, like, as much as I love the Luke as mayor, especially how that whole Devil's Reign arc from Chip Zdarsky ends, they haven't done shit with him as mayor in the comics. They haven't done shit.
That's the problem. I feel like they need to push that more. We had the one little arc. Give me events, like something that maybe One World Under Doom could have showcased. Like,
9 months of Doom.
Doom. Rachel, back to you for pick 2. You have Hamnet and Severance Season 2 off the board. Who you got?
Take a show that I'm sure all of you were gunning to take. It's not just me who gives a shit about this year. It is my favorite comedy of this year. Much like Ted Lasso, I remember the sketch when it came out with Eli Manning. I'm taking my sweet, sweet Chad Powers. I love Chad. So I cannot wait for season 2. And I'm taking my show. You all can make fun of me all you want. I love Chad Powers.
There are 2 things that I knew would be on this list going in that you'd be drafting, and Chad Powers was, in fact, one of them. I loved the 6 episodes. I thought it was obscene that they marketed it as a season of television, because that's a fucking half season. That was a half season of television.
It's a half season of football.
And I'm not blaming Chad Powers necessarily for that specifically, because that is my issue with streaming services, is they are giving us half seasons of stuff. They are cutting everything down so much to so few episodes, and I miss real television that went on for real seasons. But nothing wrong with Chad Powers. Damon, what were your thoughts on that series? Because I feel like you dove into it, didn't you? Come on!
It is.
Once again, my struggle this year is I didn't watch a lot. I
David,
really
it'll
didn't.
take you literally 3 hours. And that is giving it grace because they're like 20 some to 30-minute long episodes and there's 6 of them. It's a perfect little comedy. It is so funny. Just don't watch it right after you watch the Ed Gein show like I did. Because if I had to hear Charlie Hunnam's Ed Gein voice into Glenn Powell's Chad Powers, which is like, "Hi, I'm Chad," I couldn't.
This is really good Chad Powers voice, by the way.
Thank you so much. I was losing my mind. I was like, I can't listen to these two voices anymore. Chad
Damon
Powers.
shook because when I took Daredevil Born Again and he had already took Andor, he now doesn't have any other TV shows that he's seen this year.
Yeah, honestly. Well, I was gonna say, sounds of that means we just have to send Rachel down to Eastern Texas for like 3 weeks.
Me? Why?
Because you'll just hear everyone talk like that.
Yeah, well, think about who made the voice up.
I know.
Austin, born and bred.
Back to Damon. Speaking of Damon's run out of TV shows, Damon, your round 3. You got Andor season 2 and Thunderbolts off the list. What are you going with your third round pick?
I am keeping my TV show for the next pick just because I know nobody's picking it. And once again, it boils down to me not watching a lot of crap this year.
The Happy's Place or some network comedy that everyone's like, what?
Well, there is you can take as long as you want because none of us have TV left. So unless we're
that may just
into the wild card category, you can say
I may make my last pick. All right, I'm gonna go movie next. And again, I don't watch a lot of stuff. You can sense a theme. I love that Superman movie.
Great choice.
I love that Superman movie. I needed a Superman movie.
You gotta be quicker. You lost now both movies that you clearly
You picked Paradise in round 1 and nobody else had it on
exactly. No one here was gonna pick Paradise,
bro.
Jam.
That's on you.
No one here was gonna pick Paradise. Yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. I needed a Superman movie that made me smile. And there's so many times in that movie where I'm smiling. The last shot of him looking up at all the projections of like him and the Kents and his family growing up with Iggy Pop playing in the background. I was like crying, and I don't usually cry in movies, but I was like, oh, this is it. Like, that's the feeling I needed from a Superman movie. And that was like the closest thing prior to that was that that little Superman cartoon that came out over the last couple of years that we enjoy, but it's much lighter and made for more of a general like all ages audience. But that's like the closest thing I got to getting that.
You're talking about My Adventures with Superman?
Yes, My Adventures with Superman. Thank you. Like, that was the closest I gotten since this movie came out, and I'm just so happy that it's here. I'm really happy that it's kind of become like that pinnacle point of the DCU. And how they're doing Clark and Supergirl coming out again next year, which is doing my favorite Supergirl comic, which for a lot of people is their favorite Supergirl comic. I'm so happy that I like that movie that much.
Very well said. I have nothing to add. This was one of the movies that I was
nothing to add.
Really considering for going with in my last pick, but I just kind of thought, okay, well, there's 3 movies that I'm comfortable picking. I'm just going to let somebody else whittle down that list a little bit. And Superman was one of them. Superman was right near the top. Jam, you got back-to-back picks. You snoozed and you lose on Superman. Don't make the same mistake here. Who you going to go with? Yeah, I just wanted to rhyme it.
Uh-huh.
I'm
You
hurt.
just say you snooze, you lose.
It's
but it was
Canada
past
education, Rachel. I don't know what to tell
And
you.
so I didn't want to say snooze, you lost, because that wouldn't rhyme.
I'm hurt. I'm very much hurt. Both you guys took my movies. Apparently, I took an L with the Paradise. I probably should have said It Welcome to Derry. Can I throw that as my honorable mention in there? That was just phenomenal. So have to shout that out. But I'm gonna go with a movie pick because I think this was a phenom, like a sensation that's still going on right now. I don't think it will ever stop. It is Netflix's biggest watched most watched thing of all time. And I don't think that record will ever break. And I am talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. The soundtrack was phenomenal. I mean, I was listening to it. I made skits about it, Instagram reels and TikToks about it. So, I mean, it was great. So I'm going to go with that as my first pick off my movie list.
Great choice. It was my most listened to album of 2025 because my daughter Natasha loves hearing her K-pop. And so she actually has moved on from it. It started out as Kelly. Kelly was the first thing that she always wanted to watch on TV, or just like the music she wanted to listen to is Kelly Clarkson. Then from Kelly, she went to K-pop, and she'd say K-pop, K-pop, K-pop. Then she switched to Wicked. She really, really loved Dancing Through Life. She really, really loved What Is This Feeling? And now she has switched to Elsa singing. Elsa singing is what she wants. She likes getting to her Frozen jams from Frozen 1 and 2, and we just throw those on repeat. Great choice, K-pop Demon Hunters. Damon, you still haven't seen that either, have you?
I know, but I heard Golden way too many times throughout the month of November. I'll tell you that much.
I know you would love this movie.
Way too many times I heard that song.
Like a Barnaby. Sounds like a Barnaby, and now I can't unhear it. I just
shout out to our friend Matt Aguilar in chat. Hell yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. He approves of the pick. Jam, what do you got next?
I'm over here stumbling, looking at my list. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna go back-to-back picks with movies because I really don't think anybody is going to pick this off of their movies list. I just love this movie a lot. I think it's up there as one of the best movies of the year. Maybe not the best, but one of the best. It's just one of my favorites so far. I'm going Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro on Netflix.
Yeah.
Great choice. Good movie. Damon, did you see this one?
Nope.
Rachel, give me your thoughts on Frankenstein as the first pick of round 4.
Perfect. I honestly thought about it because the last time I saw Oscar Isaac in the flesh was at an Andor event. So as soon as Damon picked Andor, I was like, Frankenstein. But we all know what my movie is going to be when it's my turn. So I wasn't picking Frankenstein. So I'm glad somebody did.
It was on my list, but last on my list. So it's like it was one of the ones I was considering. I have a pretty small list.
Why?
There are only 3 movies now left on it, but it was definitely in consideration.
Inspired by the work of a woman?
Yeah, because I love women, Rachel. That's why I was on my list.
Ass on your list?
That's why I was on my list. Damon, what do you got? Round 4, pick 2.
All right. I am not doing my TV yet because all of y'all picked your TVs, and I'm saving it, at least to the next pick.
I know the one other TV show you've watched this year, so I'm tempted to pick it in wild card just to like screw you over.
You could. You could. You honestly, you could, which would really screw me up. I am doing my first wild card, and this is when I say you can do whatever the hell you want. I am throwing the biggest net out into an ocean right now and getting as many things in as one gulp as possible. Comic book publishing company of the year. Comic book company of the year, DC. Because I did that just in case I didn't get Superman as a movie that would be included in there. And why did I do this? Because I can't pick one of those amazing absolute titles. I
will give you the DC Absolute Universe.
I made up this draft. I picked
not the entirety of DC Comics.
DC is my comic book publishing company of the year.
Okay.
Because the absolute titles this year have killed it. They sold, Jam, I don't know if you know the number off the top of your head. It was like 6 or 8.2 million comics of absolute titles, which is insane in 2025. That is wild in 2025, not including trades.
I think Batman alone did like 3.8.
Yeah, absolute Batman alone did 3.8. And I didn't want to pick 1 of 3 also because technically the first few issues started like late 2024, but obviously it continued throughout 2025. And this was the year that Absolute completely took off, and Marvel tripped over their own feet, fell down a cliff, landed in briar patches, came back out, and then hence dove into a piranha pool with their Ultimate Universe and how they managed that. It's actually insane with what Marvel did with their Ultimate Universe and how they just completely like threw it into a barn. But oh my god, Absolute Batman's incredible now. I love it. Absolute Wonder Woman is my favorite Absolute title. Shadow Kelly Thompson, we've interviewed her a bunch of times. But taking the idea of just quite simply flipping, what if instead of paradise Diana grew up on, she was raised in hell by Cersei? Done. Easy. It just writes itself after that. With everything with the Greek pantheon, especially in the underworld, how they influenced her life, but she still has that heart in the end. You just make her a witch. It's so cool. Absolute Martian Manhunter is so incredible. In an amazing commentary. Dennis Camp this year, one thing I will give Marvel credit for, he has been carrying that Ultimate Universe on his back. And it's because of his Ultimates run. And DC and Marvel both have let him just say what he wants to say with a giant megaphone. And he does not pull any punches with what he has to say. And Absolute Martian Manhunter is so blunt, but so abstract at the same time. It's great. Gang, if you haven't, just go read the Absolute comics that's come out. Absolute Batman, you'll love it. Absolute Wonder Woman's my favorite. Absolute Superman is so sci-fi and takes the idea of what the House of L symbol means and flips it. And for not only for what it means to Kal-El, but also what it means to the people of Earth. It's so good. So, yes, DC comic
This
publishing.
is why I think your pick should just be the DC Absolute Universe.
Well, then, okay, let me shout out the main line too.
Because
Nightwing.
no, here, let me tell you why. Because otherwise, I just
Nightwing
go. My next pick for wild card is pop culture. I get everything. I get all the companies.
I pick a company.
I get all the books.
I pick a company. You pick a genre. That's not the same.
He's correct. This is the biggest compliment. I want to see you, like, if you and Jenna Anderson started talking about comics, it would literally be the like SpongeBob meme that's like 3 hours later, and you guys are still just talking about like the plot lines in like a one DC reign. Not even like the whole of it. It would just be like one.
I didn't even get to the annual of Absolute Batman straight up breaking the arm of a white supremacist.
That's my boy.
Like, that's the entire issue. It's amazing.
Great. He's perfect. But it's just very, I was like, I could listen to you guys talk for hours, but I was just like, he really is laying out every single one of these comics and why they're fantastic.
And I didn't even get into Green Lantern, but Jam could do it for me because I haven't been enjoying it that much, but I know Jam has.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I actually think behind Wonder Woman is probably my favorite absolute. Yeah, I think it's Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and then Flash, if I had to rank them in order.
But TJ, you can't argue with me and say that DC as a company, when it comes to TV, movies, and comics, have not had the best year.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm saying DC, like, because I already talked about the movies.
I don't think that's a bad wild card take. I think that's a hot take.
I think
I agree with everything you said. I just think it's a little broad. I think it's a little broad for a draft.
Oh my god.
That's all. But I'm not. I'm disagreed with, so it's allowed. It's allowed. People are on your side, so I'm not disputing it. It is what it is.
Is it my turn?
It's just it's a big one. You know, I feel like that'd be taking Marvel Studios. Then you can only take. No one else can take a movie because you just got the one. You know, it feels a little big.
You can take a comic.
Feels a big.
Well, you could say Marvel Studios, but you're also including some of the TV projects too. So it's not just the movies. It's not just one thing. It's a bunch of things. It's a collective. Yeah.
He said the publishing company. He didn't say I
understand the logic, Rachel. I just don't like that it's allowed.
Okay. Anyways, is it my turn?
It is.
Okay, I'm gonna pick.
Would have been earlier if you wouldn't have been talking so much shit.
Okay. Again, you're trying to silence women. I am going to pick. I'm going to pick one of my wild cards right now, and it is the Doomsday chairs. Nice. Because we all sat for hours upon hours. To be fair, I had 2 different screenings that day, and it started when I went into the first. It didn't end for another hour and a half after the second screening. So I saw 2 feature-length films in the time that the chairs were happening. And I had to be like, can anyone update me on what's going on? Because I was out and about in the city doing work. So that is one of my wildcard picks are the wonderful, wonderful Doomsday chairs.
Love that. That was a lot of fun because we were in the middle of doing our Daredevil podcast. And so, Damon, we were just hanging out talking Daredevil anyways. And then that announcement started happening and was like, well, we're already here and we can talk about the episode between each chair announcement. It actually worked pretty
The
perfect.
longest 4 hours or however long that was. And we got to a point where like, is there anything else we could talk about with this Daredevil episode? No. Does anyone want to credit the choreography, the cinematography, the lighting?
Really digging deep because there's probably a few chairs left and we are running out of things to talk about. That was a lot of fun though. I will take off my final movie with the last one here, and I think we're done worrying about someone stealing each other's picks here now that we're done wild cards. I know what Rachel's last movie is, and so I'll go with mine. I don't know if I want to go the comic book movie or the other one. I was hoping somebody else would take it, but I think I'm going to just do what I think was the second best movie of this year. And I think I enjoyed watching, I'll give my honorable mention for movie now, Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four is actually the comic book movie that I enjoyed the most this year of Superman, Thunderbolts. I think it's the third best of those three, but I think I actually enjoyed it the most of all of them. However, and I think I enjoyed Fantastic Four more than this movie too, but I'm going with my second best movie of the year, and that is One Battle After Another, to go along with Sinners. Those were my top two that I saw this year in terms of just like critical rating. And so One Battle After Another is my final movie pick to go along with Sinners. Jam, what's going through your mind?
Man, y'all don't want to know what was going through my mind. That movie is so overrated. I really like despise that movie with a passion. The fact that people put it on the pinnacle of what Sinners is blasphemy to me. I cannot fathom it. That is my hot take, and I would debate that till the death of me. And the one argument I'll have is people talk about how deep it gets into politics, into the like thematics of it, but your main focus is a freedom fighter who is played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, as a person of color who is mixed with Puerto Rican, Black, white, and Native American, I find that to be very interesting that that's your choice of protagonists. But that's just one reason. I could go into thousands of reasons of why I think this movie is overrated. Again, I think it's a good movie. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not a good movie, and I think it's one of the best movies of the year. But the comparisons I see to Sinners is crazy to me. That's my hot take.
See, and I don't actually think it goes deep into politics at all, really. I think it stays pretty surface level with it. I think the things they are saying are very surface level.
I think it's more show than tell. I think it's more show than tell. That's what it is.
And it's very much when the world is burning around you. He's not, to me, the protagonist of the revolution. It is when the world is burning around you about a dad trying to save his daughter. That to me is what it is. And so it wasn't meant to be, this is the face of the revolution. It's meant to be, I'm an idiot who's smoking weed and I wanted to be done with all this shit, but I got to go save my girl. And so like that's
daughters, you really
that's to me was more the story than like the political statements. The political statements to me were just like very clear on the nose here. It wasn't a lot of like, didn't require a lot of critical thinking alongside of it. It was very surface level, but that's kind of the aspects of the movie that I liked. And One Battle After Another is my pick here. My wild cards are tough because like part of my drafting strategy has been like waiting. I'll get the ones I need, and then the ones I don't know about, I'm going to wait for other people to pick it off of the list. And so it whittles it down a little bit. But wild card, it's not really like anybody is probably picking the same things. I have 3 video games, a musical album, and a podcast. I think firstly, I'm going with the podcast because it has brought me so much joy this year. And I'm going with the Braving the Elements podcast, where I fits the criteria because they released a whole season or 2 seasons worth of a podcast in 2025. But I also did a whole rewatch of our whole re-listen to every single thing they've done, starting from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then they got through 2 seasons of The Legend of Korra this year as well, hosted by Janet Varney and Dante Bosco, the voices of Zuko and Korra. And I've gotten a chance to meet Dante a few times. Looking forward to chatting with him again in the future. I've been talking with Janet Varney about joining us here on the podcast in the new year as well. So hopefully get a chance to talk to our girl Cora here on the pod. And that podcast just meant a lot to me this year. I really, really enjoyed it because, one, they're mega fans like we are, in addition to the people on the show. But two, they're bringing in insights of guests who are other mega fans. And just like, there's random shit that one of the coolest stories I've heard on that was how Maya Hawke was a guest on the show. Maya Hawke, who, speaking of Stranger Things, was a guest on the show. And she was talking about how she learned about Avatar from her mom because her mother, Uma Thurman, was running on the treadmill watching Avatar: The Last Airbender as what she would watch while running on the treadmill, and was like, hey, I think my kids will like this. And she showed it to them, and then they started watching it as a family. I think that's so
awesome.
cool. I love this universe so much. So I'm going with Braving the Elements podcast as my first wildcard pick.
I love
Shout
it.
out to Damon for getting me on that podcast.
It's a great podcast. It's one of the few company-run, franchise-run podcasts that's actually really good. Because there's so many that it's like, oh, this is like made by like the people who make the thing, and it's like really sterile. And it doesn't feel like that at all because of the guests they bring on. And also going into like the chorus stuff, like Dante hasn't seen any of it, which is like wild for someone who voiced a character in that show that he hasn't seen the show. But it's really good. It's really well done.
Couldn't agree more. Love the Braving the Elements pod. Recommend it to anybody who is an Avatar fan and has not checked it out before. Rachel, back to you.
I'm saving my final wild card for last because I want to read my honorable mentions because I think they're funny. So for this pick, I will choose my movie. Which, TJ, would you like to tell everyone what movie I'm gonna pick?
Rachel will be selecting the Edgar Wright film starring Glenn Powell, The Running Man.
Yes, I will. Listen, people
Fire movie.
shit on. Thank you, Jam. The only one who fucking gets it. The amount of people who wanted that to be something the book was not, insane. So many people projected what they wanted on that movie and then were mad when it didn't deliver their dream. And I'm like, it's the book. Like, if you read that book, it's the fucking book with the exception of the ending. It is exactly what Stephen King wrote. I think people just looked at the Arnold movie and were like, oh, it's going to be a mix. No, it was an adaptation of the Stephen King book. And it was exactly what I wanted it to be because I hate the ending of the fucking book. So I was like, this is perfect. Thank you so much. Kudos, Edgar and Michael Bacall. And yeah, I love that movie so much. It's my second favorite of the year, and I'm not even saying that as like someone who likes Glenn Powell's work. I'm saying that as someone who like those are the kind of action movies that I like want to see more of and miss because I'm tired of it just being like listen, what I'm about to say is going to sound sacrilegious. However, I'm tired of it being like, what defying stunt is Tom Cruise going to do in Mission Impossible? And that's one of the only 2 action movies we get out of an entire year. Or like John Wick. Both franchises I enjoy.
Respect Fast and the Furious.
Okay, when's the last time that came out? They went to space like 10 years ago. But I'm saying like I miss just like, I miss like the Arnold action movies or like even when Harrison Ford was doing it. Like I miss those. And this reminded me a lot of like the Harrison Ford movies that I used to love when I was a kid. And so I fucking like this movie a lot. And everyone needs to jump off of its dick from what you like thought it should have been and just enjoy it for what it is because it's a good movie. Thank you.
Add to her hot take. I gotta piggyback off of this. I have the extra flavors, the spice that the fire take that Knights of Oa was talking about. To add on to what she's saying, I feel like the movie that everybody thinks one battle after another is what The Running Man is. Put that movie up there. I don't know what y'all see in this movie, but The Running Man is that movie, gang. It is really that movie. Like she talking about, it is fire. Everything. And again, I hear your take, TJ, about the daughter, the father trying to save his daughter. But that's what The Running Man was. And it gives you way more focus and depth on the political aspects of at least our here, because I can't speak for Canada, but our here in America administration. So I don't know what y'all see. Maybe I don't got the Christopher Nolan Academy Award eyes, but The Running Man, shout outs to Rachel. Excuse me, this side. Shout outs to Rachel shout out to Rachel for this hot her pick on this movie.
I also have a Glenn towel out in my living room I can go get because they sent me the Running Man box with the Glenn towel. But
I shouldn't have turned on Damon with his DC Comics pick because Jam and Rachel are clearly locked in this pod, and so I would have had a teammate. We could have gone 2v2, but I went to Damon's throat first, and now I'm sitting here all alone in my little corner, and apparently I don't like women, and so it's tough. It's tough out here.
Just think you keep trying to silence one. There's only one on the pod.
And I'm such a misogynist that I didn't even let you make your pick. I made your pick for you.
No, I'll give you that one because you listened. Because I didn't say what am I doing?
Oh, Damon, pick 3, second last round. What do you got?
Okay, let me finish off my TV show. This is not the best show of the year.
Can't wait to hear what this.
Not the best show of the year, but this is one of the shows that I watched this year that hasn't been picked yet.
And it was good. We liked it a lot.
Do you know what I'm about to pick?
Oh, maybe I don't, because I'm realizing there are 2 shows that we also covered this year that are on that you could be choosing.
Yes.
Is it like
I want to
Gen
hear
V?
what you
What
think
are
it
you
is
picking?
first.
I thought you were going to be picking Gen V.
It is not Gen V.
And
It is
now I'm
not.
thinking it's probably Peacemaker.
It is not Peacemaker.
What
Oh.
is it?
I think it's a show a lot of us forgot came out this year because it came out in January.
Is it Invincible?
It isn't. No. It is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
I totally thought that was 2024. Good
I
pull.
just looked it up because I was like, that came out this year?
Yeah,
And it did. And
baby.
I love the art style of that. I do
Mhm.
have like some gripes with like the 3D animation of that art style, but the Leonardo style is so good. And I thought the show genuinely got better as it went on. And I think TJ and I, we both agreed like where that show ended off, and thank God there's multiple seasons, like made me more excited for it going forward.
Mhm.
I thought it was a very unique Spider-Man project. I even have like the little Doctor Strange figure from that show because I loved his design that much. I just thought it was so fun. And it makes me excited for more Marvel animation projects because like outside of What If, it was like, okay, what else are you guys going to do? It's been taking a long time. And I also did want to shout out the Marvel Zombies, which I thought was very, very, very good. But yeah, I wanted to give it to Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And also we got Nico Minoru in the show, which you right, like, and Wave, who may become Wave. I mean, technically she's still just Pearl Penguin, but hey, we got some more Agents of Atlas in there. Hell yeah.
We covered more shows this year together than I realized. I like Peacemaker, Gen V, Daredevil, Andor. I totally forgot about the animated ones with Marvel Zombies, with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I hadn't thought about that one. I totally, in my brain, that was 2024. Good pull on that one. Jam, your final 2 picks of the draft. What do you got?
They're both wild cards. That's the problem. So I don't know if you're gonna let me, pass with this one since you didn't let my guy Damon.
I
pass
have
with
final say on this. This isn't a TJ show.
Okay,
this
so
is not
I
final.
can veto Damon if I really want to.
So I'm gonna go with an event. I'm gonna go with a event that I think was possibly in our fandom, the nerdom, right? The nerd fandom was probably our best event this year, at least the one that I went to, and that is New York Comic Con. I think it was absolutely crazy. Some of the best announcements we've gotten in a very long time. Some of the best celebrities were there. Some of the best fan experiences I've ever had, and especially as a cosplayer, some of the best cosplays I've seen in a very long time. So that's what I'm going to go with. New York Comic Con 2025.
I don't know, TJ. Do we allow it because it was the one New York Comic Con you and I weren't able to attend?
Yeah, we're going to go and say a hard pass, not allowed because
And we're still extraordinarily salty about it.
It's
yeah,
a
just because of
split
promo
decision.
purposes.
because I allow it because I interviewed Glenn Powell and Lee Pace and Edgar Wright while there. So I'm allowing it.
I was very sad that I couldn't go this year, but very looking forward to hopefully popping in again in the future. It was definitely an event I missed. One, because it was so fun to go and see so many friends every year, and like Rachel, get to see you in person again and get to hang out with you and Rachel and Leah and just the squad of friends that I've made going over the past few years, but also just the guests and the announcements and everything. It was better this year than the previous 3 combined. Like, it was absolutely nuts how many awesome opportunities there were this year. And one, just money reasons where things were a little bit tight, but also don't want to risk having tweeted about your guys' president one time getting thrown in a hole and not being able to get home. And so it's just easier for me to not cross the border very often.
I will say, TJ, we did still go and get Chinese food at the place where you just blindly ordered food like the rest of us and didn't, like, think about whether or not it was going to be too hot for you.
Yeah, there's a few things that were spicy, but that was a fun time. That was a fun time when we did that.
Your Chinese food was too spicy?
Yeah, for context, me and Leah ordered Dan Dan noodles because the two of us love Dan Dan noodles. TJ just heard us order Dan Dan noodles and he goes, "Oh, I'll have Dan Dan noodles." We thought, he was aware that they were like,
I wanted to try a bunch of shit. And so like I just ordered what other people got, and I was like, give me some of that, give me some of that, give me some of that. And then somebody else paid the bill, and I was like, well shit, now I feel bad that I got 4 dishes.
But he was just eating Dan Dan noodles like, these are hot. We were like, have you never had Dan Dan noodles before? And he was like, no, I just ordered them because you guys did. And we were like, TJ, you can't just order food because someone else did. Like, you don't know what you're getting.
I was feeling adventurous. I just wanted to be part of the group. I wanted to fit in. I was like, let's do it. You're getting that? I could get that.
Peer pressure was peer pressuring.
Yeah,
just all part of the experience.
Allergy. I would have been like, well, you maybe should.
I was thinking that.
Don't want to ask questions and look like an idiot. Jam, final pick of the draft, your last wild card. What do you got?
This was really tough. I have no clue. I just want to throw out a bunch of my honorable mentions. I was gonna say Sinners as an event, just like that whole, like everybody like was talking about it. People were dressing up to go see it. But I also have, as a New Yorker, this hurts me. I feel like we take an automatic L in life now. Like if we're in an argument, people can just say no Diddy. So Diddy being convicted, that was a scandal for me. Like, right, he got arrested last year, but he got convicted this year. And so it's very hard to like argue with people now.
Not New York taking the L.
We just take a L like in all aspects of Diddy life. Like
tell me you're not drafting Diddy going to jail as your wild card.
No, I'm not. But that was one of my honorable mentions. I also have for New York, Mamdani's mayor election. You know what I'm saying? Like that felt like that's dog. Like that's huge for us as a country, let alone just the city of New York.
Freeze my rent, bitch. Let's go.
Yeah. I also have my last honorable mention was the Sydney Sweeney scandal, the jeans ad. I love me a good scandal, man. I have to throw them out there, but I'm not going with any of that. I'm gonna go with something.
Wait, I have to put something out. You have been like the left parallel of like Ben Shapiro with your choices. You're mad about one battle after another. You're like Sydney Sweeney and her jeans. Like it's just like the left's version of Ben Shapiro right now. As you were complaining about one battle after another, I'm like, this is given the Ben Shapiro. And then you were like, why is he white? And I was like, and there's the pivot.
Oh, I love the Jam sitting there being like, okay, movie draft with some friends. Should I go with Diddy going to jail or should I go with Sydney Sweeney being a racist?
Hey man, I gotta let y'all know what my stance. I was
yell for Diddy.
Listen, that hurts, man.
I'm so glad I made this category.
Okay, one more honorable mention. Because I just think it's hilarious. It's nothing crazy, but I do think it was funny. TikTok being banned for a day and everybody going and spiraling out of it. I thought that was hilarious. Like, I'm 32, bro. I don't care about freaking TikTok. Like, I thought it was hilarious. But as a content creator, you know, and what we do in our space, we do care about TikTok.
Jam and I are sitting there like, damn, without TikTok, we might be good at this content creator thing because that's the place we never go. That's the place we need to be going the most, and we never
That's our
do.
bad place, Damon. That's our bad place. No, I'm gonna go with something that I guess means something to me. It's kind of a two-parter. So I want to go with the Super Bowl, and that is Kendrick Lamar's performance, but also the announcement of Bad Bunny being next year coming to the Super Bowl. So that's my actual wild card pick, is the Super Bowl. These past couple years have been really hidden with messaging for people of color, and I'm excited about that.
He's not beating the left's version of Ben Shapiro allegations. I'm just pointing that out.
I mean, did you read my America is Black article? Like, I feel like that is like the...
I was like, oh, and now he's like the messaging of the Super Bowl. Oh,
Jam and Rachel are John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell right now in Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends?
oh, I was like Ricky Bobby.
That too. Damon, back to you, my friend. Final pick in the draft, your wild card. Are you going with Disney? Are you going with the Northern Hemisphere?
Mhm.
What do you got
Northern
for your final wild card pick?
No,
Flat Earthers.
I'm just doing music. No, I'm kidding.
All songs.
Baroque
If
musician.
it's got a note in it, I'm taking it.
I had to do this. This honestly is what inspired me to make this wild card. I did not expect it to spiral into this, even though I'm
Not comics as well,
extraordinarily glad
almost.
it did.
The
I
con-
wanted to go with Tour of the Year. Tour of the Year.
Like
And that is
movie
the
tour?
Long Live the
That's
Black
fire.
Parade Tour.
Okay.
It was My Chemical Romance doing a full stadium tour. They've never done it before. And like every good tour, there's scandals. Someone licked Gerard's hand after the second night. There was weird little viral moments where they had a dictator, again, back to the political messaging, which was brilliant, but they had a dictator throwing out hot dogs into the crowd and everyone celebrating like lineup massacres and stuff. It was a wild thing to experience, not once, not twice, but thrice.
We
This
should
year.
take it away for that he saw it multiple times, and I didn't
I
get to
did.
see it once. So
I
that
did. Just genuinely magical to experience. And it was by far my highlight of the year.
Love that. I'm very happy you got to experience it. I did not get a chance to go to it either. They didn't come anywhere close to me, but I am thankful I got to see
Toronto's
them
in
twice.
Canada.
Yeah.
come across.
It's only what, a 4-hour flight, a day-long drive, but I
for the love
got to
of
see
my
them
time.
twice as a teen, and so I got at least my fix. But sharing, I'm not quite as big of a MCR fan as Damon, but one thing we share is that being one of our favorite bands of all time. So I was very happy you got to go see that one. Rachel, your final pick, your wild card pick. What do you got?
So what would you like first? My alternative choices or my actual choice?
Let's go with the alternatives because this has been fun.
Okay, so first one of them was Crash Out Kermie. So if you don't know Crash Out Kermie, it's just a Kermit the Frog puppet that will like rock out to like techno music and then go to rap music, and then it just cuts to him listening to Lord Huron's The Night We Met, and he's laying in a chair like this with a bottle in his arm. I was him for Halloween because my friend had a Chronically Online party, and so I was Crash Out Kermie. Another one of my Halloween costumes is Lestat from Interview with a Vampire, but specifically the when he screams, I bet in the trailer, because people ate that shit up. Sully listening to My Immortal from the television series The Rehearsal Season 2. If you are unaware, Nathan Fielder proposes the idea that Sully Sullenberg listened to the chorus of My Immortal by Evanescence for 23 seconds, and that's why he could perform the Miracle on the Hudson. I believe it, because he was like, there's 23 seconds of silence, and so in his mind, he was listening to the chorus of My Immortal.
Shout out
no,
Evanescence.
Sorry, not My Immortal, Bring Me to Life. So that's yeah.
Wake me up.
And so imagine Sully listening to that. Another is Will Byers' coming out scene on Stranger Things, because people have just been adding other characters to the scene, because why was it a town hall meeting? We don't know. And so they just like kept adding people, like, and I love it. And then my other one that is a Stranger Things meme is when it lists characters and what they're thinking, and at the end it says Steve, and when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it. But all of that does not top what I'm going to choose, which are the butts of 2025, because many butts have taken the title of best butt this year. Connor Story and Hudson Williams in Heated Rivalry became a conversation topic because of their butts. Glenn Powell's butt in The Running Man became a whole thing because you could bounce a quarter off of it. There's also Timmy's butt in Marty Supreme. He didn't want a butt double. I believe Jason Isaacs' butt is in The White Lotus season 3. Season 3. There were a lot of butts. They were all really great. So my wild card pick is the butts of 2025.
Great choice.
You guys,
Is that allowed? Is that allowed? Is that not too broad? Is that not too?
Well, apparently everything's allowed.
I gave you examples of the butts.
All the butts. That's the difference. That's the difference. Damon is taking all of DC Comics. Rachel is only taking the good butts.
Yeah. I also have one more honorable mention, and it is Jack O'Connell saying Sammy and all of the memes from Sinners, because I loved where people were like dancing. They're like me if I heard them singing, and then they would just like open the door and go join them when they were dancing to Rocky Road to Dublin. And my last hot take of the night: why are we not putting Last Time I Seen the Sun as the best song from Sinners? Everyone is judging the scene in Sinners where they're like singing about different genres of music, and they're like, this is the best song in Sinners, and it's not. Last Time I Seen the Sun is the best song in Sinners, and it is just frustrating me that people are like discounting that song, which is beautiful, and like I have not stopped thinking about it since I saw Sinners for the first time. And that's all. Thank you.
I think I agree with that. Because Last Time I Seen the Sun is like the song I go to more on that. I think the scene with I Lied to You, and when everything is happening, is like the focus. Like that's right when we see all the transition. I feel like that's a better experience in the moment.
But a better
like
song.
But the better song, like, and I think you get to get the experience because of sonically, you're going through all the genres and stuff. But I do agree. I think the better song is Last Time I Seen the Sun.
Anyways, butts.
Butts. Great final choice. I'm gonna go with boobs since I love women.
Sounds like a misogynist's choice.
What I'm going with, I was considering
women's rights.
I support women's rights and women's wrongs. Damon, I was considering going with something really anti-Damon here and just saying like maybe I'm gonna take Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen getting married as my final choice. Damon's one true white Buffalo love getting married to his division rival quarterback.
Wait, Buffalo love, and he's a Buffalo Bill.
Felt like a good one, but I don't have it. I don't have any funny honorable mentions. I did have 3 video games in consideration: Pokemon Legends ZA, which I did think Damon was going to take as a wild card, and Ghost of Yote was another one, which I was so shocked to realize as more people finished that game, how many people were disappointed by it. I thought it was like a clear upgrade of Ghost of Tsushima. It's like everything Ghost of Tsushima did right and did more of it, and it cut out the parts of it I didn't like. And so I thought it was a clear upgrade, and then I kind of found out as more people got through it, they didn't consider it that. And I was surprised because I thought it was incredible. And then Expedition 33, which was one of the weirdest fucking games I have ever played, but so damn cool. So cool, and really good story, really interesting animation, and a really cool story behind it as well, with production of the game getting shut down so many times, and 33 total people working on this game were able to put it together. It's got Charlie Cox as one of the main voice actors. That was in my honorable mention list as well.
He's going to do all of this and pick Fortnite in the end. Just watch.
I've never played Fortnite before. That's a lie. I have played 2 games with my nephew before, but other than that, I've never dove into Fortnite. I will go with my favorite album of 2025, and that is, it's a band that is very important to me. It's probably my favorite band right now. My wife introduced me to them. They are Canadian. We have gone to see them twice already, and we will be going again this summer for our anniversary. And so I am going to go. There's even potentially some songs, rumored, can't confirm, but there's even potentially some songs in this album about someone I know from my hometown. So that's kind of funny too.
Oasis.
And so I'm going to go with No Hard Feelings by The Beaches. I was in their top 1% of their listeners this year on Apple Music, and I'm going with their latest album as my final wildcard pick.
Good pick. That's a good pick. It's a good album. I do enjoy it. You know what's wild, TJ, with how much this band has seemingly like really kind of blown up?
Mm-hmm.
I was on a Delta flight, and they are the Delta Spotlight Band of December.
That's cool.
So the whole album and some of their other singles are like available to stream on a Delta flight.
Oh, that's really cool. They also they've been popping up a lot lately. They're in the background in one of the scenes in Freakier Friday when they're celebrating a birthday and the song's playing in the background. And then they also sing the credits song. They did the remake of The Ultimate, the song at the end of Freaky Friday that Lindsay Lohan and her band singing, and it's the Beaches doing a remake of it for the credit song for Freakier Friday as well. So shout out to the Beaches. As a recap, I have Sinners and One Battle After Another for my movies, Stranger Things and Daredevil Born Again for my TV shows, and Braving the Elements podcast and No Hard Feelings, the album by the Beaches, as my 2 wild cards. Damon, what do you got?
I don't know. You tell me. You write it down.
Ah, son of a bitch. Damon has Andor Season 2, Thunderbolts, Superman, all of DC Comics, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and the Long Live the Black Parade tour. Rachel, what was your team?
Okay, I remember mine because I'm a good little student. My movies, I got Hamnet, a movie that TJ hasn't seen because he hates women. And The Running Man, as Jam said, better than an Oscar-nominated film, probably. For my TV shows, I've got My Tribe, My True, Chad Powers, and I also have Severance. And if you know me, this is a very funny choice for me, only because it's literally Adam Scott in a comedy show. Congrats. You can figure me out. Just put people I love in something and I will enjoy it. And my wild cards are the Doomsday Chairs and the Butts of 2025.
Rachel, I had such a fun little experience where I had to. So I'm on a fantasy football podcast every Wednesday. We have a tournament every week. The highest scorer picks a movie for us all to watch, and then we review it on the end of the podcast.
When you say football, what do you mean?
Like NFL.
Thank you.
Fantasy football.
I was like, I don't know what Canadians do.
It's same as it's. I'm the only Canadian on the podcast. Everybody else is American. I work for an American fantasy football company,
which is even funnier because Canadian football is also its own thing.
It is, but everybody still watches NFL.
Football. What does that mean?
Soccer. No, but NFL. And there's one person who, when he wins, he likes to torture us. So he'll pick like the worst movie he can find, and then we all have to watch it and then talk about it afterwards. And so he did one called Troll 2, which it has nothing to do about trolls. It's not a sequel to the first Troll. There's no trolls in the movie. It's got a documentary about it called The Best Worst Movie Ever Made.
That's called
and it's just horrific. But it has so many fun lines on it. It's actually,
oh my god.
My wife actually has got me a Christmas present related to it this year. But I listened to a podcast after because it was on the How Did This Get Made podcast.
Was it Adam Scott?
Adam Scott was the guest, And so it was just like made everything about watching that movie worth it because I got to listen to Adam Scott break it down with Jason Mantzoukas, Paul Scheer, and June Diane Raphael after.
This teed up to an earlier argument I was making about action films, but it is tied to this because my favorite "How did this get made" moment was when they made Adam Scott watch. Jesus, that was hard to say. Watch Fast Five, and then they all realized that those movies are good, and then it became a thing where they just
all of them.
Fast
He comes back for all of them. That was my last 2 weeks. As I listened to every Adam Scott. How did this get made?
So funny because they were like, "Is this good?" They drove a car through 3 buildings, and they're just like all losing their mind about Fast and the Furious, and it's so fucking funny because Fast Five is when it like hard pivots into being fucking crazy, and so it was so good listening to them be like, "Oh my god, maybe these are good," and then just committing to the bit the rest of the time.
It's so funny because it's 2 hours of being like, this was ridiculous, this was stupid, this made no sense, and the conclusion is these are the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. It's so funny. I had so much fun listening to those. And so shout out to Troll 2 for introducing me to Adam Scott on the How Did This Get Made podcast because it actually made it added a lot of enjoyment to my life. Jam, give me your final ranking. And that podcast has a woman, and so clearly I don't hate women because a woman co-hosts it. And I'll tell you what, I have a friend who's a woman, and so I clearly can't. I'm friends with
a wife and a daughter. You have a wife and a daughter, and you have used June Diane Raphael and a random other friend.
Because it's a joke. I was doing the dog whistle. I was pretending to doing the dog whistle.
You already did as a father of daughters to defend another.
As someone who knows women, I can't be misogynistic.
I would love for this to be the first introduction to this podcast.
They just don't know me at all. They think
the entire time I am just making fun of you. When you have act like you are the opposite of sexist, but I am just being an asshole. And they're gonna be like, "Wow, this guy must really be sexist. She was so mean." That's just how I am with TJ, guys.
Oh, I love you. I love you so much.
I love you, TJ.
Jam, give me your recap of your team.
So I also wasn't a good student like Damon, so I had to go look at my notes again. I have Frankenstein, and then I forgot the other movie I mentioned. You got it.
Frankenstein and K-pop Demon Hunters.
That's right. All right. And I know I have Paradise and the Studio as my TV, and then my wild cards were Super Bowl, and I forgot the other one. What was the other one?
It was Diddy.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was Diddy.
New York Comic Con.
That's right. All right.
It was all of New York taking the L for Diddy and Mom Donnie.
I went with
and
a band.
So ran Mom Donnie.
As my final pick, I went with a band that is all women because we love women here on the Agents of Fandom podcast. Let us know
who all women, TJ. Lesbian of the Year.
Lesbian of the Year. There you go. Let us know who you think drafted the best team. Let us know what your favorite movies, TV shows, and moments of 2025 were at Agents Fandom on TikTok and Twitter, Agents of Fandom everywhere else. You can find us on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on all the good stuff we have coming. We have our Avatar Fire and Ash interviews with James Cameron and Stephen Lang up on the channel, on podcast feeds, and wherever, and on YouTube, as well as upcoming stuff like our Pluribus finale breakdown, the Comic Corner, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Stranger Things finale. We're going to have Wonder Man in the new year. A lot of fun stuff coming. I did actually just get a Wonder Man related interview pop up in my inbox the other day, so stay tuned for that as well. And that'll do it for today's show. Rachel, where can the people find you on socials? Where can they find your work?
You can follow me at Rachel Leishman on Twitter, Rachel_Leishman everywhere else. Please do. I want more followers. I'm greedy. You can read my work on the Mary Sue, where I'm editor-in-chief. I also do some writing for Collider and that hashtag show. So you can read my stuff over on those two as well. I have a bunch of podcasts. Just go listen to them. They're basically all on hiatus because I am run ragged. But yeah, if you want to talk butts, hit me up. I will always talk butts. I'll talk about Glenn Powell's butt. I'll talk about Connor Story and Hudson Williams' butt. They're currently my phone background with some trees. So yeah, I'll talk anything. Just follow me, and there you go.
Jam, how about you? Where can people find your pod, your writing, and on social?
Well, I promise you, I'm not going to be talking about butts, but
What if you did?
you can't. But you can follow me at Jams. Well, you know what? No Diddy on socials either. There's no Diddy. There's no butts. It's all age appropriate content.
Strictly just breaking down Sydney Sweeney, her thoughts on genetics.
Yeah, the
her
Epstein
thoughts on
list.
Venom.
Oh wait, I will say that's another shout out. The fact that McGruber's on the Epstein list, really a top tier moment for me in all of pop culture, was that they put McGruber on the Epstein list. That's all. I'm done with my honorable mention.
Yes, you can follow me at Jam Session. Just replace the E with an X on all socials. You can check out my work for agentsoffandom.com as well as thealternatetime.com. And you can check out my podcast here on YouTube at Journey Across Media. We will be having our own best of 2025 dropping tomorrow. And if you're watching this afterwards, it'll be out on New Year's Eve. Tap in. Next episode after that, we will be going over Stranger Things because it's Stranger Things. No Diddy.
I was debating making a American president type joke about maybe something related to that list.
None of us fucking like them.
But I want to make sure I'm allowed into the country for a wedding that I got to go to in the new year. That's a pretty big deal, and I don't want to miss it.
Here,
And so,
message me and I'll say it for you because they can't do shit to me. I live here.
Damon,
where are you sending me?
Damon, you don't have any socials you want people to follow, and so I will ask, what is coming up on the Comic Corner this week?
Oh man, so although I picked DC Comics as my one and all pick of everything, there's no DC Comics dropping tomorrow. None, not a single comic book, which is crazy. But everyone, Ultimate Endgame, the beginning of the end of Marvel's best series, is starting tomorrow. And the craziest thing, TJ, and this is to get a lot of people to go to your comic shop, they are doing these things called blind bags. And in these blind bags, there is a hand-drawn, signatured Robert Downey Jr. cover. Go crazy, folks. Just
wish me luck.
Be nice.
There's multiple of. There's some Iron Man ones. There's some Doom ones. Are these going to be happening in Canada? Should I be going to my?
They should be
local
happening
comic shop?
worldwide. I'd imagine it's a worldwide thing.
Worldwide?
But,
all right, rolling up to Australia.
So go crazy, everyone, but be respectful and try to follow rules that are given.
Head to your local comic shop. Great note from Damon. Follow rules. Unless they're dumb rules, then don't follow them. But at your comic shop, follow rules. In life, don't follow the dumb ones. That'll do it for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. We'll be back later this week with many shows for Pluribus, Percy Jackson, Comic Corner, and the likes. We will see you next time. Thanks so much, and goodbye. Peace.